What's up, roofing contractors? Welcome to another episode of The Roofer's Den. If you don't want to know what it means to be a big baller in the roofing industry, then you are going to want to listen to my next guest. Mr. Reshaud Henry with Structure Ace in Louisiana joins us in The Roofer's Den, and you're not going to want to miss this. What is going on, Reshaud? Welcome to the Roofer's Den.
Hey, what's up, boss? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing all right. I am so excited to have you here, man. I have had the chance, of course, to work with you through my claims care, but I wanted to have you on today because I think it is powerful, man, what you were doing over there in Louisiana. You've got an incredible company over there in Structure Ace, and I'm going to dive really into all of that. But first, people need to get to know you. You are going to be in this industry for a long time with a growing company that is going to take control of that Southeast region.
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell me a little bit about who is Reshaud? Where do you come from? How do you get involved with roofing?
Okay. So my name is Reshaud Henry. I'm from Hammond, Louisiana. Basically, it's a small town, probably dead center in between like New Orleans and Baton Rouge. Basically, I was playing football at LSU, had some opportunities. Basically had a little bit of, nerve damage or whatever the case may be in my neck. I still actually have to get my shoulder reconstructed. But dude, believe it or not, I had a piece of crap agent, and I was paying for a lot of the stuff, that like my travel and things like that. So essentially my sister hit me up one day. She's like, hey, do you want a job? I was just like, well, okay. How much am I making? Like, can I make what I want to make? Can I go when I want to go? And she said, yeah, you could do whatever you want. I said, okay, cool. Just send me the address. And she's like, wait, I didn't even tell you what it was. And I was just like, it doesn't matter. It's cool. I'll take care of it. So, so I got to the office, man, and found out it was roofing. Didn't know crap about roofing. And had the opportunity to make a little bit over six figures within a matter of some months. And basically, really and truly, man, whatever it was when I got to the office, dude, if I was gonna be selling toilet paper, you know what I mean, nobody would have been unwiped. So I was just extremely motivated to get some cash and not have to really worry about looking over my shoulder, and really, be really just and truly like obsessed with morality. You know what I mean? So I think that if you're someone who, has high character, has high morality, this is an amazing industry for you to get in because it's conscious-free money, and you do well by doing well, and you're protecting people from getting taken advantage of by some of the insurance carriers. So I just took it around with it.
I don't want to overlook this because it's pretty incredible what you just said. You walked into a roofing office, you don't know a damn thing about roofing, and you go out and you sell six figures. Is that right? Did I hear that right?
Well, I generated seven figures for the company, multiple seven figures, but I took home six. But dude, I went out my first day and sold. Like, I didn't know the pitch. I was just like, yo, I got roofs. So some people recognize me from LSU, and it was a blessing, to have some support of the community and some of the people that I've been able to rub shoulders with. So I'm really just thankful that, I never burnt bridges. You'll never hear anybody say, oh, that guy's Reshaud's a piece of crap. He stiffed me or not. Like, no, we just get our bread, stay in our lane, and try to make sure that we cultivate those bridges and not burn them.
So how do you sell a roof if you don't know anything about roofing? Because there's got to be guys out there who think, hey, you know what, I know everything there is to know about roofing, the shingle, the tile, whatever, but yet my guys aren't selling shit right now. How is Reshaud out there not knowing anything about roofing and selling seven figures?
So basically, this is what happened. All right. So what happened was, no, I'm joking. But basically, a lot of times the guys in the industry, whether they open a roofing company, a lot of times those traditional guys are from the labor side of the roofing companies. So you may be an expert. That may be great. But if you don't have the opportunity to show someone that you're an expert, then that holds no weight at all. So sales and that initial introduction is the gateway to really open up yourself and let people know who you are. but you have to know, right, who you are, what you are, and what value that you provide. I was on a call earlier today, talking to some more salesmen that we may bring on. And the biggest thing that I told them is, this whole thing is really about swag. Any cold salesman, any great salesman, bro, they have a swagger about them. Like, I remember, dude, my wife used to ride with me when I used to go sell, and I used to be in the car. I'm like, oh my God, like, I'm about to go knock at this door, man. Like, whatever happens, like, record it. I don't care.
Yeah.
And just to laugh at, huh?
Can't be afraid to fail either.
Dude, no, not at all. So I remember I used to walk up to doors. I'm like, oh, snap, I'm about to knock at this door. All right, be serious. And basically, my wife was joking with me toward like the point of time where I kind of became bulletproof in different markets. Cause like in your infancy in sales, you tend to latch on to markets, right, where you're bulletproof at. Mm-hmm. But when you become that big dog, and we talking about the dance, so when you become, the king, I can't wait to be king. But when you become that king, you feel what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. You say, dude, I'm walking in this neighborhood. I know what value I add. I know what I have to offer. I don't care who I'm knocking on. They are going to know that whatever value, whatever belief I have, right, and what I have to offer and what I bring to the table supersedes your doubt. I got you, right? And it's not like I'm out here, in respect to some of the medical sales device guys, and I actually know some guys who own those companies. And in medical device sales, sometimes you prioritize profitability over functionality. So sometimes you'll have to sell things, right, that may not necessarily work, but that's a big payday for you. And really and truly, it's just really about, knowing what you bring to the table and what you add, and like I said, a lot of these guys, they come from a background of, I was hammering. Like, dude, that's not sales. You got to get the door. So,
tell me about this, because I was reading the book, Jordan Peterson, 12 Rules to Live By. And the number one rule that he has in the book, the first step is to put your shoulders back and put your head high.
Yeah.
Because, when you walk up to a door and you're door knocking, if you've got that, you're kind of scratching, I'm not sure if this is where I'm supposed to be, I'm not as sure of myself. Even if you're just starting out in the industry, you don't really know what you're selling, but you look like you know what you're selling.
Yes.
You've already half the battle's already there.
Absolutely.
You got to get out a few sentences, and then after that, you got that look and that swag, then you're going to sell a roof.
Yeah, and dude, you just said something more powerful than you may even understand. You said a few sentences, right?
That's it.
I tell my guys all the time, dude, understand what the heck your clock is. You got to know what your clock is. Because some guys, you can walk up to the door, for some reason, you may have a 5-minute clock, right? Some guys, you walk to the door, you got like 10 seconds, or you better get your ass or you're behind up out of there somehow, some way, because these people, that's just your clock. But what we emphasize here and what we streamline is really just, the way we get our guys trained up fairly quickly is just by compartmentalizing the process and understanding, dude, all you have to do is just be a closer on the front end, and you can learn everything else along the way. So for me, how do you sell something when you don't know shit about it? Well, look, I know that I'm confident in me, and I'm confident that I can help you. And if I'm more confident in my ability to help you than your doubt in my ability to help you, dude, I
call it energy for my guys. When we talk about making a sales call, you're talking about door knock, and I'm talking about my guys making a cold call from my claims care over to a contractor.
Yeah,
I would try to be the one who's got the most energy in the room. If you got the most energy, you've won that part of the battle right there. Yes. They've got to match you. You've brought it now. So where are they gonna match you at? Don't be that person that's overshadowed by anybody else. You got to bring it too. You got to bring it more than them, and you're going to dominate that interaction.
Got to, because I'm telling you, like, it was funny because one of our guys, he's like a 19-year-old kid, and I was telling him, I'm like, and when you reframe things for people like that, that's so powerful, because now you've tapped into their perspective, and you can disseminate information more effectively to them, right? Okay. So I told him, I'm like, yo, so when you go to this door, look at it like this. This door knock is a fight. as soon as you open the door, psychologically, the homeowner is trying to choke you out. They're trying to beat your ass.
Mm-hmm.
The thing about it is, you got to throw those first punches. You got to let them know, tap, tap on the chin. Look, I got you, right? Mm-hmm. This is what I have for you. This is what we bring to the table. And oftentimes, like, people don't understand, like, dude, if you go to that fight unprepared, if Floyd ain't never go to a fight unprepared, right? Ali never went to a fight unprepared. So when you go there, man, it's really just about, you know, making sure that, you know, that you have everything that you need in place from an organizational standpoint, from a pitch standpoint, from a value standpoint. And you said it, and it's key. When you go to the door, bro, you can't be, that's why insecure. And I'm like, nobody hate me or anything like that. Just send me hate mail, whatever. Insecure individuals who, you know, aren't secure in who they are, right? Timid individuals do not work out in this industry until you shift that on. I knew nothing about door knocking. I never door knocked, but I knew that whatever I touch, I believe that I can get anything done.
That belief is where the key is right there. And, you know, I'm going to add something that, you know, when I used to door knock, I used to think to myself, okay, every time I knock on this door, I'm going to do whatever it takes. I'm not going to mail it in because I'm coming up to a door and I've had a bad day. You've got to have that mentality. And we talk about Ali, we talk about Mayweather. When they stepped into a fight, that was the most important fight they've ever had. That fight that they were fighting right there. And if you don't believe, like you said, that you're in a battle, when you go ahead and knock on that door and that person answers and looks at you, you got to fight uphill right there. They already know that you're selling something. You're on their property, so you better be ready to go to war.
Freaking right, dude. It's funny because, like, when you said that, I just thought about, like, how the boxers walk in the ring and they got the music with them. Yeah. And I used to walk up there like, oh, God. And now I walk up there and, when I went door knocked in Dallas, right? And we closed some jobs out there. And, dude, I was playing around. My wife was in the car, and I was pointing at the neighbor. Nobody was there. And I was like, yeah, hey, how you doing? You know, and I would just have fun. And it's just like, dude, like, when you feel like when you turn somebody's doorstep into your doorstep in your domain, dude, that's when you truly got the power to close anyone.
But I think you would agree that that power comes with your perspective of what you're there to do. I've got my guys who, you know, we have a different industry, obviously. You know, I call contractors to work with my claims care. So I've got to sell my sales guys on the process that we have, a contractor needs what we have to offer. If you're a salesperson, you're out there knocking on doors and you don't believe in your product. You don't believe that, hey, listen, you've got something that this person needs, that you can put a new roof on there for the price of their deductible, and you can help this person today increase the property value of their home, and you can do all this great stuff for them right now, and you don't believe it, it's definitely going to show in the way that you make that pitch.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'm going to add on to that by saying I think the pool of closers is so small because, dude, I've interviewed over 400 people within the last 2 months. I may have about a list of 11 people that may come on. And the thing about it is the pool of closers is so small because we live in a society nowadays where people don't move with conviction anymore, right? People will not die behind their beliefs. People will not die, you know, behind, you know, defending their ability to do a certain thing. We live in a society where it's, what do you think?
I think what it is I think you've got a society with, let's just call it what it is. People are a bunch of pussies. I think people are coddled so much that they don't want to have an opinion because not having an opinion means that more people like you.
Yes.
I'm wrong. Let me back that up. It doesn't mean that more people like you. It means that less people dislike you.
Yeah.
That's what people are about in this world today, is that everybody wants to play lukewarm. I don't want to be hot. I don't want to be cold because there's people who don't like hot and cold. So I'll just play everything right down the middle, and then no one dislikes me. You don't got any real convictions, but at least, you know, I don't have anybody that hates me.
Right. Dude.
So I want to go back to this initial meeting right here you're talking about that you have with the homeowner, that your guys have with the homeowner. Because I've had a theory about this, about closers versus non-closers, because I think the difference is between being an order taker and being able to tell somebody what they're eating. Does that make sense? Because you got somebody who can walk up to 100 doors and they're going to get one that somebody's going to need to lay down, and they're just going to be like, yeah, I guess I need a new roof. I'm sure or whatever. So how do you go from just being a guy who's an order taker to a guy that in that initial meeting, you are in control. You're in control of this conversation.
So I think three things have to happen. There needs to be a paradigm shift in your perspective of what you bring to the table. Two, I think going into it, these organizations could do a better job at disseminating to a prospective sales rep that this is not a sales position. This is a leadership position. And in the most respectful way possible. When you go door to door, literally, the homeowners are essentially puppies. Okay. They're going to sit where you tell them to sit. They're going to shit where you tell them to shit. And they're going to pee where you tell them to pee. Right. And the thing about it is when you have that leadership, when you add that leadership perspective to sales, right, it's really more about, letting them know, okay, dude, I know the best for you. You're ignorant on this subject. I have the cure for what you need, right? Don't get treated for cancer when I have the cure, right? This is the game that we will play by, which is the insurance mediation game. These are the rules. This is how I can add value. This is where you sit. This is where I sit. And if you let them know in the most respectful way possible, right, how things are going to go, dude, it's easy. And I've been on both spectrums.
Yes.
Dealing with homeowners who, oh, dude, I'm millionaire, or homeowners like, oh, please just tell me what to do. And you just got to know how to sit them both down, bro.
Well, I think what you have to understand is this about homeowners. Let's take your millionaire example right there. Some guy who's like, oh, I'm a millionaire. I get all this. You're a millionaire because you're good at doing one thing. Maybe you sell medical devices. Maybe you sell lighting for stages. I don't know what you do. But whatever widget you sell, that's what made you a millionaire. I assure you it's not your roof, because that's why I'm here.
Exactly.
So I think that people get intimidated by, I've seen sales reps, especially, we talked about your 19-year-old guy you got on your team. I remember when I first started in sales, and my job, I did timeshare sales for Marriott.
Okay.
And I was young. I was just out of college, and I thought I'm going to make a lot of money doing timeshare sales for Marriott. And I failed. And I had no confidence in myself to the point where I literally had a ring that I would put on my finger because I wanted to seem like I was married so that I could seem more mature, so that people would trust me a little bit more, and then they would buy from me. I had this whole narrative in my head that I was too young to be an expert right now. I couldn't tell somebody how to spend $30,000. Who was I? I was just some 22-year-old snot-nosed kid. But I didn't have that perspective that you're talking about, that I was the expert for their vacation.
Yeah.
And I failed over and over again. And I look back on that with such disdain for myself, honestly. I want people, and it sounds like you do too, to get it and to say, hey, man, it doesn't matter that you're 19. You can be an expert in this, but you got to hold your head up and you got to put your shoulders back to make it happen.
Dude, you know what's funny? Like, a lot of people don't know I own this company, bro. They don't. Like, I'll show up with one of the sales, like, oh, you work with, yeah, I do. Yep, I sure do.
That's
and the thing about it is, like, even from an owner perspective, like, being so young, I've had to accept the fact that we're a multi-million-dollar organization, and that's okay. Yep. You know what I mean? And a lot of times when you think I'm too young to do this, or I'm too big, or I'm too small, or I don't like how my beard connects, or my stomach is a little big, like, where do those things come from, right? According to who? According to what? And a lot of times, dude, if you stay in your own bubble and you understand, like, my life is not predicated, my ascension is not predicated, even my failures are not predicated upon the opinions of other people, but on my own. You know what I mean?
I do. But you know as well as I do, there are sales reps out there that when they go to a house and they hear a no, they embody it. That no is not a no to, their company. It's a no to them. And that is such a dangerous game to play with people's persona. And that I've seen it ruin sales reps, good people who start out confident and then they get out there and they get hit in the face a few times and then they just fall apart because they're weak-minded.
I'll tell them this, dude. Listen, you got people out here. I mean, you had Hitler killing Jews. You know, you had slavery. You had Jim Crow. You had different groups of people that did stupid shit for no reason, right? That they could not rationalize. So, of course, if you encounter a homeowner, I mean, think of it as encountering someone who just transparently just a bigot or has I don't like Italians, you know, or Spanish people or black people. Dude, that's their issue. If they have an issue, right, from your standpoint to digest the value that you add, because given the training that you've had, right, being that I've put you in a position to replicate what I've done, dude, if they don't understand the value that you add, just like the contractors, you go, oh, I'm not paying. I'm gonna wait on my money. I want all my money. Nah, fuck that. Listen, if somebody don't understand the value you add, dude, it doesn't matter. They don't deserve to work with you. It's not a hit on you. You just have to understand that their comprehension level is not on a level, right, that they can comprehend the value that you add. And really and truly, like I got a 19-year-old kid, 18-year-old kid. Last month, an 18-year-old kid made like 18 grand. Let me tell you something. This dude's a fucking dog. Listen, he's a beast. All right, he's a man-eating machine. Listen, and you know what? I'm gonna be honest, dude. It's my wife's little cousin, right?
It's great, man. Keep it in the family.
Dude, he's a Creole kid. He got curly hair. He's a little like he's my color. And bro, he used to go to the door with his hair up. And he used to be like real, you know, hey, my name is, you know, I'm here for the roof. And I said, man, get your ass back in the car, man. What are you doing? So, and I talked to him a little differently because he's family. But I said, look, bro, I said, untuck your shirt because he had on like some swim trunks. So he looked real fun or something like that. I said, untuck your shirt, put your hair down. I said, just go over there and have a conversation. He went over there and he had a conversation because he came back to the car like, to the truck, like, oh man, you know, all is lost. I said, dude, get that soft shit out of here. Go put your fucking hair down. I got a water bottle. He put his shit down. He swung it out, went to the door. The next lady freaking ate him up, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? We had the roof, we got it done. And I was just like, bro, now listen, no matter how successful or how unsuccessful you are, there are always going to be people on the spectrum who don't understand or comprehend the value that you add. All right. And your value is never predicated upon someone not comprehending what you bring to the table. You know what I'm saying? Dude, now, I used to get calls from his clients, like to the office, because we record everything. Dude, I don't get any calls anymore, right? About, oh, well, he didn't tell me this, or I think I should. No, Brian, you tell them how the game is played, and they're going to play it based upon our rules. And we can help you out, and we can give you a great system.
So here's
awesome.
And I have a similar story to that. I had a young lady that was on my sales team making cold calls. Okay.
Yeah.
And she had a manly voice. I mean, a deep voice for a woman. And she was a small girl, but she had a pretty deep voice. I'm not going to say she didn't. All right. she wasn't selling, and she just wasn't bringing anybody on board. And so I start having a talk with her, and, you know, you try to get through all the BS excuses first and get down to the real root of what's going on. And at the root of it, it was so sad, Reshaud. I mean, she had all she could think about when she was making that call is what the other person on the other end was thinking about her voice.
Yeah.
That's all she could think about. And so that initial call, she wasn't trying to make a great first impression. She was just trying to seem more feminine so that that person on the other end of the call would, well, I guess, accept her for the woman that she wanted to be. It's just so, but people create in their mind an insecurity that may not even be there.
Yes, you just said something real key too. So, I was on another call this morning before the other one, and basically I was speaking with someone, and they were like, "Man, when did you tap into like just sniping them? You know, 15 roofs. Like, when did it happen for you?" And I said, the moment that I accept it, when I go to a door, I'm not the most fucking hype dude at the door. Now, like with the crew, with the guys, like, dude, we're gonna have fun and all that. But when I go to the door, I don't talk the loudest. All right, I am not the hypest guy. I'm like, hey, my name is Reshaud Henry. No, bro, when I was doing that shit, I got so many fucking doors slammed in my face. And when I accepted the fact, like, dude, listen, you're a laid back guy. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you got to take me for who I am. And when I was comfortable in my own skin, knowing that I didn't have to pretend to be this hype salesman, dude, I started closing left and right because people see you, right, for who you are and who you are not. And I tell them all the time, you could go to a woman's house whose husband is beating her, and she's like, oh, what? There's some good in him somewhere. Try to go sell her a fucking roof. Try to go sell her a roof and not be yourself. She'll pick you the fuck apart. She'll pick you apart every time because that's the only time the radars are on. You feel what I'm saying? And if you're authentically you, and we have a baseline pitch, but I tell somebody, dude, don't sound like me. Don't sound like him. Be you. Put your own thing on it. If you're not authentically and genuinely yourself, people aren't going to feel comfortable because they feel as if you had to put up a facade and not be yourself. And in that, they feel as if something is being hidden and they don't feel comfortable.
I want to ask you this because you've been successful in hiring some great sales reps and growing your company. So what I want to ask you is, from a manager, from an owner perspective, how much responsibility falls on you to put somebody in a position where they can play to those strengths that they have? Because you could have, I mean, there's a lot of different positions within a roofing company. So is it, sometimes it's, I would say that it's the person's fault, but then also doesn't it fall on the ownership to find where they fit in best with the company?
Man, listen, absolutely. And I have an edge a little bit more than a lot of other guys. I may have not started nailing, you know, and everything like that, but I do know how to generate, right? We have no issues generating. And I feel like when you bring an individual on, you have to look for certain precursors, certain characteristics that mimic and represent what you want to bring to the table. And I make it very clear to our guys, dude, I don't run a fucking adult daycare. Yep. I'm not calling you in the morning talking about, oh, dude, yeah, are you going to sell? Are you going close? Like, no, we're not talking about that. If you call me, you calling me to tell me, yo, listen, I'm picking up a check, right? Or I'm picking up a scope. We just got the scope. And quite frankly, we're not even talking about it because you're communicating through the system. So from an owner's perspective, you have to be able to dissect, right, these individuals. If you would bring somebody else on or consult with somebody who can, right? If you don't have the liquidity or the capital to bring someone on, do it for, allow them to interview for a fee. Hey, I'll give you $100 this week if you listen in on these calls because you got a good, you know, beat on people. Like, be creative, but ultimately do not bring head cases into your company, right? When you're a roofer thinking that you're a psychiatrist. No. And when those guys fuck up, even when you do bring them on, me personally, if somebody mess up, I don't look at them first. I don't. I look at me, I said, how could I have said it better to him? Right? I know Brian, I'm gonna just say his name. I know Brian, I gotta tell him something one time. I could talk a little bit different to Brian than I do with Trey. I could talk a little bit different with Trey than I do with Terry, right? But it just goes with being able to communicate with a different demographic, you know, psychologically or age-wise, you know, of different people, you know what I mean, and being able to reach them. And in our training process, dude, we have everything possible. Every mechanism in which we could train a person, we have it. Doesn't matter if it's virtual reality training, doesn't matter if it's courses, doesn't matter if it's a manual, does not matter if you want to ride with somebody for 2 days. We will get to you. It's your job as an owner to make sure, dude, if you have an auditory learner, if you got to put that shit in an ebook, bro, you better put everything you can in place to arm your soldiers so that they don't go to war and get their ass whooped and your fucking mainland is exposed. That's what you don't want to happen. And as the owner, you got to
say is that I hate that excuse where, you know, the roofing sales rep that comes in who's never nailed a roof, as you said.
Yeah.
Never nailed a roof. then go to a job site and learn to nail a roof. I mean, these are 1 day, 2 day jobs. If you want to learn how to do a roof, you can learn really damn quick.
Oh yeah.
You just got to take that initiative upon yourself to go out there and say, okay, if you want to know how it works, then go learn how it works. Go climb a roof. Go look at a production. Go look at a site. And that in of itself right there, that initiative, in my opinion, it counts for a lot that most sales reps are not willing to take that extra step.
No.
They'll go through two days of training. But then after that 2 days, it's kind of like, I guess I'm supposed to know everything I'm supposed to know. No, take it upon yourself. Go see how they're doing the ripoff. Go see what goes into it. I mean, if you're going to be at the install anyway, which if you're a rep and you're not at your install, then I don't know what you're doing.
Getting neighbors.
Yeah, I don't know what you're doing, but you got a chance right there to see exactly what's going on, to learn everything. You see 3 or 4 installs, man, you're going to know a lot. You're going to really understand.
Right.
So I never accept that excuse from my people when they say, well, I don't understand the roofing industry.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you know what? You can learn the roofing industry. Why don't you ask me? I'll tell you. Why don't you go to the job site and learn? Why don't you ask a sales rep who is succeeding what they are doing? And I want to talk to you about that because you've got some people that are very, very good. They're experienced. They're selling that, those however many roofs a week. But then you got somebody new who's coming in, somebody who's just beginning. Do you try to pair them up with somebody who's been more successful, kind of a mentorship program? How do you do it when someone's getting started?
Well,
or you let them sink or swim? I mean, you tell me, how do you work it?
Yes and no. So with some guys, depending on where they are, right, psychologically, if I know that somebody is someone who needs to be coddled, if he even has the ability to make it through the door, right? Because there's this one guy, I'm not gonna name him. He needs to be coddled. Mm-hmm. This dude can go to any house and get that house. Patrick, this dude has the most beautiful spirit, most pure spirit I've ever seen on an individual. And one thing about him is, if he calls me and asks me a question, it's in the manual. I gotta go. If he calls me, hey, I need this. Nah, I gotta go. It's in the manual. I'm not gonna coddle you because that's gonna be your downfall. Everything is really individualized, right, toward the person, right? And if you really want to help them, you make their weaknesses their strength.
Dude, that's true. Because if you give somebody, what is that? The old saying, you teach a man to fish type deal,
Yeah.
Fish or teaching to fish type deal. But I think that you just hit the nail on the head, though, where if you do coddle somebody, they're going to continue to expect you to coddle them. Oh, yeah. This is a big lesson that I've had to learn with Anthony and I as we did my claims care is we can only do so much. I don't put on the roof.
Right.
And I can fund the roof, but I'm not putting it on for you. And some people, they want you to do it all. But I'd say, I was talking with Anthony earlier that, whatever you're good at in your company, really go all in on that.
Yes.
If you're great at roofs, be a roofing. Don't be a gutter guy. Whatever you're good at, push your chips in the middle on that because that's going to help you be so much more successful than these guys who are a jack of all trades.
And Pat, I'm not going to lie to you.
Yeah.
Our company is so compartmentalized. Like, dude, I'm gonna lift up the hood one day and show you how we run this shit. But like, dude, I don't care what roofing company it is. And I know I've only been around for a year and a half. I know I'm 25. I don't give a shit.
Nope.
The way that we are set up has a level of scalability to it that is unmatched. And I don't care who it is. The scalability of this company is crazy. And what we've done is we've put systems in the background to automate a lot of our processes, dude. It's beautiful.
It is beautiful. I've had a chance to get to know your company, obviously, because you work with my claims care. And it's beautiful to see you guys succeed and to do what you're doing right now. But what else is it about Structure Ace? Obviously, you've got the processes, you've got the sales, but you also got to produce a great roof. There's that other side of it over there, which is what we're all selling here. It's what we're all doing. So can you talk a little bit about what makes your production so incredible and why you guys have been able to just scale and grow on your production side?
I'm not gonna lie, I've been very fortunate. All right. When I was working for the company I was working for, I was the guy, like literally, there's a neighborhood called Clipper Estates out here in Slidell. We did a roof in the front. And Pat, like I didn't even have my name printed on the cards, right? My name wasn't even on the cards. And basically, it had a company name on the front. On the back, it'll have a big old blank. That night, I wrote my name on 500 cards. Me and my wife. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I stood, and it was a big ass house. I stood at the front of that neighborhood for 2.5 days, morning to night. And I'm people blowing, hey, fuck you, get out of the road. You know, no, I'm about to stop traffic. All y'all gonna know that you need a new roof to call me. And I was ruthless in that aspect. And so when I would go to these job sites, I would, you know, not only connect with the neighbors. Oh, everybody knew me. I'm probably like Ring probably has so many pictures of me. I've been on freaking homeowners association websites. Hey, don't trust this guy. He'll scam your insurance into upholding their legal obligation. Like, talk about that.
Exactly.
But, it's pretty hard to do when you do everybody's roof and he's the only guy, but it's fun. But all in all, though, dude, I would make sure I would befriend these crews, right? Because I know that sales, right, and production are the bloodline of your company. Now, I don't care how big you are, how small you are, you're gonna have jobs that go left. You know, it just happens sometimes. Those things are outside of your control. But if the definitive factors of you being able to produce that job and having the bandwidth to tackle X amount of jobs a week, dude, as an owner, you have to put that in place. And I was fortunate enough that when I left that company, all of the contacts I kept, all of the crew guys' number, dude, I downloaded that Google Translate app so fast. Like, where I was talking to all them dudes, man, WhatsApp doesn't matter. And when I came over here, everybody know, hey, the dude, that's a little black salesman. You know, like they didn't know my name. They just knew I was a little black dude that just walked around smiling at the job sites. But I befriended them. I never burnt the bridge, and you know, no crew will ever be out there saying that I never paid them fairly, or you know, that they weren't paid on time, or that, you know, I stiffed them or used shoddy material. So
one thing I really like about you, though, Reshauds, is your morals. And that's what I think you probably underrated and you haven't talked about enough right here. So I want to give you the opportunity to. Because like you just said, there are things that are going to go wrong. You're ripping off a third of somebody's house. But when they do go wrong, what kind of individual, what kind of company are you going to be? Can you speak a little bit to what it's kind of morality that goes into Structure Ace and how you treat your homeowners?
So I would never. Now, granted, there's people who are hell bent on a certain type of material. Cool, I will put whatever you want me to put on it up there. But I disclose to them that we use a certain type of brand, right? We use Atlas and we use Certainty, right? Because when we go inspect roofs, those are the main ones that don't have a lot of damage. So I disclose that to them. If they want to go with something else, cool. I've cleared my conscience by letting you know this product has the most integrity. But you know, if you want a cheap option or that's on you. I'll install whatever. I'm a contractor. You know what I'm saying? I'll do whatever you need. But essentially, okay, I'm gonna lift up the hood, be completely transparent. There was a job, and we were trying to get a contract with DSLD, and I was in the running for it, right? They wanted us to do I was trying to get the contract to do 750 roofs, and so what do you do to not interrupt production? You don't disrupt the side that's already moving and that's oiled up. You build on and add other production avenues, right? And I was looking for, you know, some more roofers, right? Because I think right now we have about 12 crews, and I wanted to add 10 more. So we did this house over in English Term in New Orleans. I had never, and this dude came recommended to me. And the guy that recommended me to him, I don't even talk to that guy anymore because I don't play with my name. So we did the roof, dude. I've never seen a worse installed roof. And the homeowners, oh yeah, man, you know, it looks great. You don't know. I had one of my roofers go up there and nail check the whole system because I really didn't trust the guy. Okay. Basically, never trust a roofer if his trucks break down. So he had a little beat up truck, man. And I'm thinking, okay, all right, it's cool. His truck's in the shop or some shit like that. And like his presentation, and I never show up to job sites because we have PMs on the job sites, but something was like, Reshauds, go to this job site. I'm watching them work. I'm like, okay, cool. I got the information I needed. The inside ended up having a leak. Dude, we got on that leak like that. And I was there. I was up there on the roof, caulking, silicone, and doing everything. And we're nail checking, making sure everything is great. Because at the end of the day, I would want someone to do that for my home. And if a bad situation occurs, right, it just doesn't need to become a habit. But essentially, you want someone that if something goes left, they come back and make it go right.
Well, that's what a lot of roof contractors don't want to do. They don't want to go back out after the sale. Something goes wrong. The sales rep doesn't want to go back out there. They're embarrassed. They're scared. They don't know what to say. It's unfortunate because you can build such strong relationships at that point.
Yeah, bro, I'm gonna be honest. With that roof, because that was the first job I ever had gotten messed up. And like my heart is pumping. I'm just like, I'm thinking, oh shit. Like I'm thinking of words like 1-star review on Google. I'm thinking Better Business Bureau. I'm thinking everything. And I'm just like, dude, chill out. All right. Be human. Fix the issue. And you'll be surprised at how many people respect the fact that you stand behind your work, right? And will just let go of the fact that something went left if you just go back, right, and just take care of them. But it's the guys that, you know, something messed up and oh yeah, I'll get to it in 4 to 6 months, you know what I mean, and things like that. That's when shit go left. But you always, anything you touch, man, you always gotta have integrity and go back and make what's wrong right.
My dad used to tell me that it wasn't a mistake that was going to get you in trouble. It was trying to cover it up.
Yeah.
Lying about that or trying to say it wasn't my fault, trying to pass the buck to somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And I told the homeowner, I said, look, straight up, I said, listen, been around for a year and a half. We've done millions of dollars worth of contracts. I said, my only fault in this situation was attempting to grow my business and create a level of production, right, that will allow our systems to flow seamlessly and efficiently. This guy was a business owner. So somebody could be like, oh, dude, that's complete bullshit. Oh, man, that's crazy. But he related to a 25-year-old kid trying to build something beautiful. And I said, while I can't go back and redo your roof all over again, with you know, our main crews, what I can do is ensure that, you know, that your family, your home, and your belongings, your paintings, you know, etc., are protected, because that's what I want someone to do for me. And he said, dude, I respect you as a man and I trust you and I understand, you know, the growing pains of really expanding the business, because he owns a multi-million-dollar practice, at 8-figure practice. So he was just like, okay, cool, man. Well, as long as you stand behind it, I don't have any issues. Shit happens. You know, he said, I've had patients die. So he was real cynical about it. So I was like, well, we didn't kill y'all, but, you know, that's cool. That's a good way to look at it.
Tell me this, Reshaud. I want to know this.
Yeah.
2 questions here. First, what is next for Structure Ace? What's the next year look like for you guys? And then number 2, why should somebody choose Structure Ace over some other roofing contractor?
Oh, dude, that is easy.
Okay.
All right. So first, next year looks like, first and foremost, I have a lot of people that I communicate with. Really and truly, like maybe 2 guys my age, 8 guys who are like 60 plus years old. They run multi-million, like hundreds of millions of dollars, right, a year in each company and shit like that. And basically, I've wanted to open up the insurance remediation sector to empower individuals who are in the rat race to go and do something well with a clear conscience, with an uncapped ceiling, right? Because it would be way more profitable for me to go into commercial with maybe, you know, 3 estimators, you know, a little staff or whatever, and it'd be way more profitable managing maybe 25 commercial jobs a year than 500 plus, you know, roofing jobs a year, or 100 plus, or whatever, you know. So next year we're gonna incorporate getting our governmental designations. I missed over $11 million worth of projects this week. It was only 2 projects. I don't know if I can even disclose them, but it's over in New Orleans and things like that, and one's over in Biloxi. I would have been the only black bidder on the project. If I would have had my DBE, my MBE, which they told me I was too young to get, because I tried to do it day 2. They like, oh, you too disadvantaged. so yeah, man. But basically, that opening up our governmental contracting sector, we focus on public work and also private work as well. And I've done a really good job of creating relationships in that industry to where if I have to build a skyscraper, 100-story skyscraper, you better believe, dude, I got the bandwidth to do it, because I got companies, general contractors, huge subs, right, that are backing me that do, tens of millions and hundreds of millions a year. So that's what that looks like. We're going to build out this residential sector to where, I only want 15 sales reps. And I'm gonna tell you what, like a lot of companies, like there's a company out here, bro, they got like 80 sales reps. You know what I'm saying? Dude, quality over quantity every time. If we can get 15 snipers, not sales reps, snipers, those guys generate anywhere between $500,000 to $2 million a year each. We'll be at a great place residentially, especially with our ability to increase the value of the claims that we take on. That'll be great. You know what I mean? We'll be the Spartans. It's cool.
So when I hear you talk about it, what I really want to get across to roofing contractors there is listen to Reshaud's plan. It's not just to keep on doing the same old stuff ever again. It's I'm going to grow to commercial. I'm going to expand residential. I'm going to add in government. He's going to keep growing and has a plan to make that happen. It's, hey, listen, let me get specialized. Let me get sniper-like with my sales reps. I can't tell you the number of roofing contractors we deal with who want to know why they're not growing. You're not growing because you don't have a plan like this, even conceptually, to make it happen for your company.
And Pat, I'm going to be honest, there's even a solar component to it.
Oh, that's great, man.
Because and not solar as in throw solar on the house, which is great, but we're talking about I have a guy who's a solar. I don't think there's anybody else in the U.S. better than this guy at solar, right? He was over the Marine Corps, the Corps of Engineers for the Marine Corps.
Yeah, I got you.
He was responsible for, I think, 2.3 billion, or like he orchestrated and engineered those projects. So through him, we're going to even look into doing solar systems on municipalities in governmental buildings, solar farms, the whole nine, and that's domestic and abroad. So kind of building these things out step by step. People are like, oh, exponential growth is crazy. You gotta grow slow. No, the fuck you don't. If you got the people in place, the systems in place to permit scalability, you're fine. Because exponential growth is just as dangerous as bankruptcy if you don't have the support.
Yeah. So roofing contractors, I really want you to hear that last part that Reshaud just said. Put your damn processes in place and have a plan for where you're going in the future. I'm excited to see Reshaud and Structure Ace go, and we're excited to be partnered with him at My Claims Care. Reshaud, is there any last words? Because it's really been a pleasure. There's so much great information for people here.
Oh, yeah. Whoever the guy is in Oklahoma, man, tell him we got roof beef right now.
We got a client in Oklahoma, everybody. He's growing exponentially like Reshaud, and I think they've got a competition right now to see who's just going to crush it in their state more. But I'll let them know, though, man.
Hey, good luck to him though, man. Hey, listen, for all y'all contractors out there, man, who are looking to grow your company, don't have a small businessman mindset in the sense where you want to be involved in everything. That's not that ain't it. Because we only have 24 hours in a day. You feel what I'm saying? If you hire 10 people or you bring on 10 processes to save your 24 hours or multiply your 24 hours, now you have 240 hours in a day.
And has My Claims Care helped you grow?
Oh, bro, listen. And dude, I'm an open book. I don't give a damn. We have over $450,000 worth of AR that we still have to collect on from some of these insurance jobs because we anticipated the cycle being somewhat of the same. Mm-hmm. So we were trying to bang out jobs due to the fact that we knew that the material shortage was coming, right? Now, we're not over leveraged at all. We're solid. But I'm proud to say that not even on the back end with the money that we're already owed off of jobs that were completed, were completed. But the ones that we're doing this week and maybe a little bit in the beginning of next week before Christmas, we throwing roofs up at Christmas. What's up? But nice. But we'll be able to collect over maybe close to $250,000 if our cards and the weather is played correctly.
And that's money you would have been waiting on the insurance company.
Right, on top of what we already waiting on. So if anybody can use $250,000 in a week, it's anybody on the planet. So,
well, I'll tell you what, we greatly appreciate your business, Reshaud. I know that me and Anthony, we love working with you. We love working with Structure Ace, and can't wait to see what happens in the year to come.
100%, man, 100%. I appreciate you guys for having me, man. And every roofer out there, man, I hope y'all boys do $50 million a year, man, and good luck to everybody.
That's what it's about right there. Thank you, Reshaud, for joining us in the Roofers Den. I really appreciate everyone. Have a great day.